these hardships, sometimes you need to embrace them because that's the grit that builds you to be the person that you're supposed to be. We're talking about Nick just now. I was about to talk about Dion a couple minutes ago because Dion always talk about the hood he came from. How he wasn't supposed to make. You know who else talks like that? A lot of them have that story. But AB, Antonio Brown, I hear him talk on some of his documentaries about that. Tom Brady, he remembers how y'all didn't. I wasn't supposed to be playing. You know what I'm saying? He remembers his Michigan days, right? And so those moments for these players that young players y'all are dealing with, embrace sometimes those hardships. I know you don't want to be there, but embrace them and be thankful in them because that's the grit that's going to keep you wanting to go when you do make millions. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's Brian says it too. Brian said, man, he always said, like, what he said, a young kid from Akron, Ohio. Mm-hmm. And they tell some of the stories about how he was with the dope boys and how some of his homeboys, whatever, and how some people protect him in the hood. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's that thing that you never can look at Nick Saban and be like, oh, he's so great, da-da-da. Nick didn't get it off of, having
You can't say he didn't earn it.
That's what I'm saying. Right. And earning it, I think is what makes you go past your earnings.
All right, so how is it possible that Steve Ballmer, owner of the Clippers, right? Reports making $656 million last year.
Sheesh.
To the IRS.
Sheesh. Reported to the IRS.
Right.
Okay.
As his income. And only pays 12% in taxes, which equals out to about roughly $78 million. He has an employee. Well, first let's go down. Let's get a little closer to reality. Mm-hmm. LeBron James,
okay.
reported making about $150 million. Not surprisingly, his taxes are about 36%, right? Mm-hmm. Which you would expect for somebody that makes 156, mil in a year. And then you have a woman, Miss Avila, who is a concession stand worker at the Clippers organization. Mm-hmm. Reported making $44,000. Mm-hmm. On top of that, that also includes her job working at Uber.
Right. Oh, right. Because second situation.
Two jobs.
Right.
Make $44,000 a year, and pays 14% on taxes.
You said 14?
Right. So she pays 2% more than Steve Ballmer, who makes almost 300-400 times what she makes.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't get it.
For our listening audience, you can find this. You can find the information of what we talk about.
Wait, hold on. So Steve Ballmer
right.
is paid. He paid how much taxes? How much in taxes?
He's paying 12%.
What are you supposed to pay?
More than LeBron, definitely. I mean, LeBron's paying 36%.
Bruh.
Steve Ballmer should be somewhere in the 40s.
Bruh.
You're a billionaire.
Bruh.
Multi-billionaire.
I'm saying. Multi.
They wonder why the forest on fire.
I'm saying it don't add up, bro. It don't add up, bro. That's anti make better people, bro. It don't add up, bro. I think so. The guys be tucking their money away. It got to be doing.
Well, see what they do is the way they do it is it's legal because this is the American tax code.
American dream.
What they do is they write off their profit as losses because they count buying a team. The team is the tax shelter.
Oh, got it. Oh,
so salary counts as a tax write-off.
Yeah, because most of them guys, that's why most of them guys want to buy into teams because they make money somewhere else.
Right. It's a tax shelter.
Wow.
So they write off salary as a loss.
Wow.
And eventually, after 15 years, it cancels out. About 15, 20 years, it cancels out. That's why you see them sell a team maybe after 15, 20 years, unless they die. In which case, whoever the team passes on to doesn't have to restart the clock on none of this. So they could just continue making money.
Well, that's how they set it up, bro.
Yeah.
They set it up to keep winning like that.
You can find this information in ProPublica on the internet.
And they just released this. They just released this, right?
They just released this. It's a study that they did. They got their hands on a bunch of owners, team owners' tax returns, and they did a study of, how basically the rich stay rich forever almost in perpetuity.
Right. I want somebody to find out how much them teams we bringing in all together. Yeah. That's the numbers I want to see. I want to see. You know, those numbers we talk about this another time. I want to see how much, like the Dallas Cowboys bring in a year. I'm talking about concessions. I'm talking about jersey sales. I'm talking about all that. I want to see how much it is. But not even NFL or pro teams. I want to see how much LSU bring in a year off of athletics, off of sports, during the season. I want to see what Bama doing and these big teams. I just want to see. I would like to see it. I would like to see the numbers.
I know a few years ago, like back in 2016, I met the guy who ran the concessions at LSU. I think one year they brought in like $2.3 million off of concessions.
For some nachos.
So they got a nice chart here that shows the amount of money versus the taxes that they are paid. So in the top left, you have the Kings, the Los Angeles Kings owner, which is a hockey team, Steve Ballmer, right? Whose income are both in the like 1.2 billion range. Mm-hmm. We're talking about in a year they make 1.2 billion
in a year. We're not talking about
and they're paying around 11, between 10 and 15%. Then you got John Henry, who's owner of the Boston Red Sox.
Right.
He's paying around 20% in taxes, but he's making less than, he's considered in the rich public. He's considered poor. He's making about $200 million a
year. Right.
Then they got Tiger Woods, who's paying about 30%, and he's at the. On this chart that I'm looking at, he's making about $1 billion a year.
From where is he? Where is he making $1 billion right now?
Yeah.
You know what?
I know this.
You know what?
Right.
You know what? I get we talking about
astronomical figures,
like all these figures and stuff, but
no wonder they
how the three of us and then our producing team. What do we need to do to have our face in an article?
Right.
I want to be in an article. I want to be that guy they say that you know what
right,
he tucking away taxes.
You done. I would like my face on that.
I would like my face on that article. This guy is tucking away taxes because he's making this much amount of money. I want to be in that article.
God, bro.
Don't get me twisted. All the other articles are cool, but that
article right, that's a different article.
That's different. Those are gold.
So y'all check it out, man. Welcome to episode 7.
We're gonna get on that, Doug.
Welcome to episode 7 of the Evergreen podcast. My name is Dante Perkins.
I'm DM.
Dante.
It's Doug.
Hold on. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Dante about to get chosen in his podcast.
His voice got changed. I thought I was tripping.
Bro, you what?
My name is Dante Perkins. I was like, this boy put his whole.
He's like, y'all listen to Key Sweat? Yeah. That's Sweat Hotel? Uh-huh. It was Dante Hotel.
Hold on, man. See, hold on. I gotta change the music for this man when he get on there. Yeah, Dante get on there.
Anyway, man. Episode 7. Evergreen Pod. Welcome. Come on in. Make yourself comfortable. Kick off your shoes.
Oh my God.
Wash the carpet. That's $25,000 alpaca.
My God. That's funny.
Blot that. You don't wipe it. You blot it.
I don't know which one yours is. What I'm trying to figure out.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
Since we talking about money, man, we're gonna get on our Frank Lucas game, man. Blot this.
Man.
Oh my God, let me change this music back, bro. Oh man. Nah, but welcome everybody. Dante did our intro. Welcome to the Evergreen Pod. And so,
Doug, introduce yourself.
Doug,
you never said
it's Dante DM.
Oh, I gotta introduce myself.
I mean, Dante did it. You gotta do it like Dante. Want me to change the music too?
No, okay. I don't need none of that. Right. I mean, yeah, I'm Doug, better known as Dougie. That's good enough.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Right. And then we got the homie
Swag.
What up, Swag?
What's up?
You good, bro? I'm sorry, bro. I got your headphones right, but I didn't know which one it was. But we here, man. We back. This episode
7,
and we popping. You know
yes,
what I'm saying? Last week was dope.
Yeah.
Last episode was dope. Man.
Yeah.
Last episode was dope. We had Quanisha
Burks
on, and so Olympic long jumper.
Mm-hmm.
And so shout out to her.
Yes.
And we got some other guests coming up soon.
We hoping the Olympics happen.
I mean, yeah, if they happen. What y'all think? How y'all feel? Whew. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being it ain't gonna happen, 1 being it probably will. Where you at?
I might get up at a 4.
At a 4. Okay. Okay. Where you at?
I'm right there about 5.
I'm about go either way. Yeah. I just would hope we were texting about this other. I just hope that it does go on, man, because people, you got to wait another 4 years. Okay, so I got a question. If it doesn't go on this year, are they trying to push it back to next year?
No, this is the last one. They already moved it once. They're not moving it again.
So that means Tokyo just gonna miss it.
No, yes, Tokyo is gonna miss it, and the IOC is gonna sue and win. And Japan is gonna have to pay the IOC, multiple millions or maybe close to $1 billion, right, for not having the Olympics.
Right, wow. And then they're just gonna move to the next, whatever the next one is. You know what the next one is? I don't know.
Where is it?
Is it Los Angeles next?
And this is 2024, right?
No, Los Angeles is the one after this.
It's 2024 too, right? Because I know
2024, yeah.
Because it's supposed to be last year.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 2020. So the next summer one is 2024. The next winter one is next year.
Is that going to be election year as well?
Ooh. Yes, it will.
Oh my God! This is okay. I'm just gonna chill because I ain't there yet. That's the future.
Right.
I'm just gonna chill and just wait until
stay in pocket.
Whatever. But I would hope that it happens. I'm not anti-safety, right? But people train for this for a long time, and if you're 25, 26 years old, next Olympics you're 30.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get none of them years back. I know they have different competitions throughout the year or whatever, but it's still it's the Olympics, bro. And you train for it, you plan for it, and it's really a time-sensitive thing. So I would hope that just for the athletes that it could happen.
Yeah, the only Olympic Games you're promised is the one that you are at.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
And the next one is in Paris.
Okay. You want to go?
That would be dope.
I'm all about going to Paris.
That would be dope.
Great poupon.
Bro.
That would be dope.
Oui. Yeah, bro, I'm about that, man. All them French kisses. Hey, so listen.
Wait, what?
We're talking about French kissing, man, because it's Paris, man.
I see where this episode going.
Dante started it. Dante started it.
I see where it's going.
Hey, so big news is, let's talk about this Big 12 news, bro. Y'all seen that today?
Yeah.
They say that Oklahoma and Texas has been eyeing the SEC.
Smart for them. Big 12 in trouble.
Well, I'm tripping off of it though. Big 12 is where Texas A&M came from, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Missouri. I mean, that's what, like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they never replaced them, so it's really not the Big 12. It hasn't been the Big 12 for a while.
So they've been a Big 10, 10 and a half. Or something.
Yeah, they really Big 10 part 2.
The rich get richer.
True.
Yeah. If it happens.
True, if it happens.
At the same time.
Oh, there's no more Big 12.
There's no more. And the thing about it, everybody, the reason they started the playoffs and the reason they're trying to expand the playoffs is for one simple reason: to stop an SEC school from winning it every year.
Yep.
Now, if you had
them
Texas
two.
and Oklahoma, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
The SEC going to dominate forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Ever.
It's going to be an SEC playoffs.
Nah, it's
exactly.
going to be NFL Junior.
Yeah.
That's what that's going to be. I think, but what about, because they got the Texas Network. Just got the SEC, they got the Texas Network, and that was a big deal.
Longhorn Network.
Longhorn Network. That was like the Longhorn Network is Texas. Like that's for the whole.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna just have a smaller conference? Because ain't nobody gonna be left but what? Texas Tech, Baylor.
It's not gonna be a conference. The Pac-12 is probably gonna suck up the rest of them teams.
Right. You think so?
Yeah.
So the Big 12
Big 10 will probably take teams toward the north, and Pac-12 will take the teams toward the west. And it'll just they're just gonna eat the Big 12 conference alive and keep it moving.
And also the product of the Big 12 is not the same anymore.
Yeah, it's not.
After the Longhorn Network, it never was.
It never was the same.
As soon as Texas started taking their team off TV, it never was. Now that ought to be interesting if it does happen. How that's gonna work? Because SEC Network does well on its own.
And they don't need no Longhorn
Network coming in.
That was the first thing I thought about That's the first thing I thought about when I saw that ad, because I saw that the article, is because what are they going to do with that? Because I knew how strong arming the Longhorn Network was trying to be with just Texas. You know what I'm saying? And then the Texas teams or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out, are they about to eat that loss? They're going to have to.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to do a deal where they're going to merge or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which maybe would be smart too. But still, somebody got to be ready to take a low seat on that or something.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think they're going to try to dip in there and try to get a lot of recruits too. I don't think they've been getting good recruits.
This may be a dumb question, and we may know the answer to this. But what provoked Oklahoma and Texas to even consider joining the SEC? I think the consensus we can say money, but what's really the reason that you think they even inquiring about joining this conference?
I think it's the head coaches of Oklahoma and Texas.
Okay.
You know, like Sarkisian came from SEC. And he like, yo, like.
Sarkisian head coach for who?
Texas. He just went over there.
And who's Oklahoma head coach? I don't know.
Lincoln Riley.
Yep.
And then Lincoln Riley can just see, like, all right, SEC is the best, hands down.
I mean, is I don't know if it's the coaches, but I think it's more the recruits.
I think
because the recruits won't play in the SEC. Look,
that too.
Right now,
that's why I think it's going to help them.
That's why I think A&M and Missouri moved when they did.
Yeah,
they're trying to get their hands on some of them recruits.
Bro, Missouri is so pointless right now in the SEC though. No, honestly, they really are. Like their stadium, it don't look like SEC stadium. It's like they're playing in the cornfield somewhere.
Step it up.
It look like a Pop Warner stadium.
Step it up, Missouri.
Like step it up, Missouri. Like I don't know what it is, but like they don't. They do not belong in SEC. And the product in SEC has been good for so long.
Right.
I can remember like when I was playing, they had I learned this. You remember Ray Malawagu and Brian Cushing, Clay Matthews from USC.
Yep.
And so I had the opportunity to meet them at the Senior Bowl back in 2009. And they were telling me, they said the highlight of their Saturday, besides playing their game, was that 2:30 CBS game on CBS for the SEC. He said we knew, obviously it was 2 hours behind, 12:30. He said we was in a hotel room before our game, plugged in.
Right.
Wow. That's
plugged
crazy,
in.
bro. That's
Like,
crazy,
these guys, now you talking about
these are ballers.
Elite ballers.
And these are ballers.
He said, bro, we was locked in every Saturday, 12:30. We was
That's
ready.
crazy.
We knew the music. when the music dropped, we was ready.
Vern Lundquist on the horn.
Vern Lundquist, all that, man. So this is crazy.
Yeah, bro. I think it's part recruits.
Oh, it's definitely recruits.
I think they're trying to get their hands on some of them recruits.
I mean, it's not. I mean, before Sark left, like Texas is basically having a power outage as far as recruits goes. As far as recruits,
and it wasn't always like that, because I remember Texas A&M, Tech, they were getting good recruits, and I don't know when it happened. Do you think it was like you said, the Longhorn Network?
Yeah, once, because you basically once you pull
all the publicity,
like you said, you saw. When you were coming up, when you were in Pee Wee League and middle school and high, like you can only like the schools that you see. Mm-hmm. Your parents can't afford. If your parents can't afford Longhorn Network,
no, this is true,
and add them on, then you don't see them.
This is true, because this is why I like Florida State and Florida.
Exactly.
This is why I like Florida State and Florida and Miami, because they were always on TV, bro.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's why none of them wanted. I mean, none of them try to get on these networks like that. Like the only time like ACC schools go to like the ACC network and stuff like that is when you're not relevant.
Right.
Because Clemson is always on the main, on ESPN, on CBS, on NBC when they play Notre Dame or something like that. Like they are always on somewhere where everybody can see them. Right. No matter what household you living in. If you living from the high rise to the hood, you can see you. They can see you. Wow. Right. Once you take Longhorn Network and you take Texas, you can't find Texas unless you got Longhorn Network. You can't find Texas.
This is the truth.
Mm-hmm. You can't find it because Longhorn Network supersedes anything that everybody else got going on. If Texas playing you playing on the Longhorn Network.
Well, there it is.
I think the SEC, like, they want to embrace Texas and Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
They got the rivalry.
Absolutely.
That too. And the money.
The brand.
And also, they want to show, like, every year, it's this thing where other schools are like, we can compete in SEC. Like, we're good enough to compete. And so what they're saying is, well, come on
over here.
Texas
A&M learn quick.
Right, Texas A&M learn quick, and I think Texas and Oklahoma will learn quick. So
Absolutely.
they're like, well, look, we'll take you with open arms, and every Saturday it's going to be like the NFC West.
They're gonna get bruised
Every Saturday. And so
no breaks.
We're gonna find out how really good you are.
We could shift I'd be more than happy to shift the line a little bit further west in the SEC, and we could give them Missouri and Arkansas.
You want to trade, huh?
They really could.
A straight up trade.
Seriously.
Straight up trade.
Straight
Big
up
12.
trade.
Big 12. You
No
can take
draft,
Arkansas.
no draft picks, no money, nothing. Just
no
straight
money
up trade.
exchanging. Matter of fact, we might give you a little money.
Give you a money to take them,
We'll
huh?
slide you some money under the table.
Right.
Take them both.
Bruh.
So would that change like the SEC? You mentioned like the SEC West. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it will move the line west. Finally, get Alabama out of here.
okay, yeah, I'm about to ask that because I was like,
They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna put them in the East just because.
yeah, I was like, Alabama should be in the East then.
They're not gonna do that because
But here's what I'm
LSU and
saying:
Bama.
if you got the chance to not see them during the regular season, and you got LSU, Bama, or Texas, Bama, or if Florida jump up and beat Bama one year or something like that, you got Texas, Florida, in the SEC championship game versus having them play in the regular season, and you don't get to see them in the SEC championship game.
Yep.
Well, I'm tired. I probably agree with you. I'm tired of Alabama whooping us every year too. So that may be a good thing.
Yeah, we are kind of tired of that.
Yeah.
I think too, but shoot, man, after this, now the playoffs, what? They
expanded.
extend the playoffs,
They're
ain't
looking
they?
to expand.
Oh, they looking to.
They're looking to. They
I'm
haven't.
about to say the playoffs going to be SEC, 3 SEC teams.
It is.
And Ohio State.
It is.
That's all it's going to be.
Right.
That's all it's going to end up being.
What they trying to go to 12 teams?
Trying to go to 12.
12.
Man, look.
Trying to go to 12.
Them boys going to play till Valentine's Day, boy.
They are.
They played during a pandemic. You think they can? If this year ain't show you, don't nobody care.
Nobody care. Get out there and play.
And not NIL is passed too. Oh, they ain't gonna care at all.
But we don't care. Get out there and play.
That's why you got to get your money and you got to take care of you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Take care of you. If this year ain't make it butt naked showing that these people do not care.
Hey, that's crazy. They had a season during the pandemic.
With people testing positive week after week.
Going in and completed the season.
They completed the season.
Now, I ain't gonna lie.
Ohio State wasn't even supposed to be playing in the playoff.
And they in the championship
They
game.
sure wasn't supposed to be.
Because they had positive tests and they were supposed to sit out they were supposed to be 21. It was supposed to be 21 days.
Yep. And they ain't play as many games as everybody else either.
They went and sat and had a meeting with all of their Big Ten teams, and if you don't remember, these are people you're supposed to be competing against.
No, I remember.
And they all said, "No, let them go.
Change the
rules for them and let them go. Let them in there.
Let them play."
As I heard something today about like the SEC came out and said like in the instance when they got to cancel a game because of
they're not replaying.
Yeah, they're not gonna replay it.
Yeah, if you miss it because of COVID,
it's just a loss.
If you miss it because of COVID,
just no game. Yeah,
it's a no game, no contest.
That was
no contest.
Really?
Yeah, if you miss it because of like COVID reasons or something like that, if you got to miss it's
just a wrap.
Greg Sankey, that's words from Greg Sankey. But
shoot, that shouldn't matter.
Greg Sankey
it's not an L though, is it?
Yes.
Oh, well.
But think about it. Even when we talk about them playing during the pandemic, and it was about the dollar.
Absolutely.
For them, even
it was like a loss for both teams.
I would have to.
Oh, okay.
For them to still pull it off, and I think SEC was just the leader of it all, how to operate and finish the season and how to go about it the right way. And I think they did. And nobody obviously got a major sickness or anything like that.
That you know about.
That we know about. But at the same time, SEC is always the leader in everything.
So everybody talking like, look.
And so I think more schools. What's gonna happen is this. What if I'm on my Dante stuff now?
Let's go. All right.
I'm on my Dante stuff.
You gotta be like,
like the no draft. Yeah, man. What if, bro? Like, what if? I keep saying, what if?
what if?
they just formed one just big super conference. Like
That's what it's
That's
going
about
for.
that.
you know, like everybody, you know, Big 12, y'all product is not good, so everybody come to the SEC. The Pac-10, what is it, Pac-10, Pac-12 now? I don't know how many teams they got. They call them Pac-12, but it's like 8 teams. I could be wrong. Like, that's stupid. Y'all come down here to the South, too. And the Big 10, think about it. The Big 10, that's the
NFL
best
junior.
time for you to get rest.
Yeah.
Because they come at 11 o'clock and you're going to sleep.
Right.
Right.
No diss, but you only going to watch Ohio State.
Right.
Yeah.
This is true.
Ohio State, Michigan, you watch that game, and other than that,
So how about we just form this big, you know, big league like how many 32 teams in the NFL?
NFL junior, bro. I'm trying to
see,
tell
this is
you.
what
You know what I'm saying?
That's basically what. So this
That'll be so
this
dope.
this is was born out of a lot of what was going on in Europe. They were trying to make a super league in football, soccer, football, soccer.
I heard about that.
So basically, they were going to take the top teams in the English Premier League.
I remember that.
They were going to take the top teams out of La Liga, which is Spain, top teams out of Italy, right? And they were going to take them and make a super league, basically. This is what this is born out of. So basically, they were going to take all, top 6 teams in the English Premier League, top 3 or 4 teams in La Liga, and another, top teams out of Italy, and make a league that they would just play each other.
Oh.
And they were basically like, well, FIFA got in an uproar, and they were like, well, you're not gonna be. It was like, okay, cool, we'll make our own championship.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It failed eventually because what they failed to realize is like, their fans hated the idea of this, and they were like literally rioting, like Black Lives Matter level, rioting like in the
Yeah,
streets.
that's different over there for them.
They
like,
that's their life.
about to bomb something.
Yeah, yeah. So that's basically what you're saying. Like you say, like LSU, Bama, Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio State, US when USC was good, Clemson, Notre Dame, all get together and be like, yo, we just gonna play each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
everybody gonna watch that.
Everybody.
Everybody.
It's true. I know I am.
Yeah.
So I got a question. So what would it take? What would it take for? And will the NIL? All right, I'm thinking about the NIL. Okay, you got the NIL. So now anybody can get paid anywhere, right? And so you think about larger. Now you have to think about larger markets. Your larger markets when it comes down to business and exposure are your New Yorks and your LAs, right? Your Miamis and your Chicagos and your big cities, right? Because we don't know any big team. We won't talk about nobody in New York or Northeast for football. Like, do we? I can't think of nobody in
Northeast?
Yeah, like way Northeast. We don't talk about anybody football over there. Maryland made a little noise one year, but like
They are all academic.
Sometimes Penn State. Sometimes
Penn State. You know what I'm saying? But like now,
I mean,
nothing in New York.
Penn State really not Northeast. Like, I believe you talking like New York.
I'm talking New York.
Like
I'm talking about
like Syracuse.
basically New York.
Right.
But because New York, I can get you if I can lure you up there for some money deals in New York.
Oh, you can make some money
just because of New York.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking, do you think that the NIL is going to help teams on the West Coast like USC or UCLA get better recruits and better players now? Which once again makes a better football product. We talking about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the NIL is going to start drawing more people that way? If I was them in LA, I would start leaning that way and start telling people, "Yo, I can get you more exposure than you can get anywhere else."
Right.
And get you more
Hollywood,
money.
man. If I'm UCLA, USC,
man,
I am pumping Hollywood.
Man, I'm lining up spots for you in movies and stuff.
I'm pumping the music industry.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
pumping the model industry. If I'm recruiting a female,
This is what they need to do, bro. This is what they need to do.
I'm recruiting all that.
This is what they need to do. And if they do that, they can start. Because I'm starting thinking about why teams don't get recruits anymore, right? And we understood, pipelines and recruiting and certain coaches. But now this brings another dynamic. You know what I'm saying? A team in USC can offer something that Nick Saban can't offer.
Yeah.
Also,
to an extent, besides, and we're going to talk about him in a second,
but other teams can't offer being coached by Nick Saban.
This is true. This is true. This is true, too.
We talking about all this NIL and being in Hollywood and chilling with Denzel Washington.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you don't have a
You better
coaching
ball.
staff,
Right.
like
You
the
better ball.
USC,
But even that,
you
no.
have to have a coaching staff.
Even that, if I was an AD, or if somebody had some power, I would be trying to land a very good coach It ain't got to be. Ain't nobody gonna be Nick. You know what I'm saying? But I'll try to line a very good coach, maybe a popular coach, pay him that money, and start luring people there. It may be a process in years, but at least I got to get some recruits over here. If we get USC back on the map.
call Les Miles.
Oh no,
I couldn't call Les right now.
Wow, man.
Les can't be around co-eds, man.
I couldn't
Les
call.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Let's be trying to molest the co-eds, man.
I can't
Besides
call
that
Les.
part.
But I definitely
that's a big part, bro.
That's the part. Right
That
there.
is the part.
But I'll be trying to move them that way. But you know what I'm saying. But I'm not tripping because there is a lot of money in the South. Mm-hmm. What this boy name is the quarterback. Come on, we were talking about
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Up on a mill.
And his coach said that. His coach announced that.
Nick know
what he's doing.
Exactly.
Look. You want to know what Nick is about? ABC. Always be recruiting.
Yep.
Always be recruiting. Nick is always recruiting, bro. Always recruiting. It don't matter. Anytime you see Nick in public, Nick is recruiting.
Bro.
Anything you see Nick doing in public, he recruiting. Anytime you see him at the lake house, recruiting.
Affleck.
Anytime you see him on Affleck, he recruiting. Hell, even one of the Affleck commercials is like he's sitting there trying to recruit two people to sign insurance. Like Nick is always recruiting, bro.
I think that's what I'm talking about. Like I think they need to find them a good recruiting coach. I don't know who, but it might be somebody with a good mouthpiece. And I'm talking about these teams that can't get recruits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We hadn't heard nothing about the UCLA, USC.
Well, I'd heard about two guys.
Oregon, none of that
that's
stuff.
ranked kind of high. They signed with USC. Like it was like a defensive end and the quarterback. That was a good caliber. Like 4-5 star.
Okay, all right.
But
it's still right.
It's gonna take way more than that.
Take way more than that. And
I say every school got like a 4 or 5 star, at least one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm just thinking about pipeline, bro. I'm just thinking about trying to make a new pipeline of players that get to certain places. You know what I'm saying? Because then you'll start seeing those USC, LSU games. You know what I'm saying? Or these rivalries that kind of, we used to like those things. You know what I'm saying? We see them because they got the players now. We ain't heard from them boys in years.
Yeah,
you know not since
Pete.
Not Pete? Maybe we talking about USC, UCLA, Washington State,
right.
Arizona State, Arizona. We're talking about all the Oregon. You know what I'm saying? Oregon State. You know what I'm saying? Like, they having fun with each other over there playing the high school games, whatever. But, like, for the most part, we don't know what's going on.
I'm not stand up and watch it. Because first off, it don't come on to 9 o'clock. And it's like 11:30 down here.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro.
I'm not watching that.
Bro.
And so, like you say, if it goes back to recruiting. So, take the business model what most universities are doing now. Obviously, prime example, LSU. Mm-hmm. They hired a general manager.
Come on, man.
Just like NFL. So he's overseeing staff. He's overseeing administration. He's overseeing who we need to recruit, who we need to get. And I think if teams begin to operate like that and operate more like an NFL business model, they can be more successful. Because let's face it, college football is great already.
Yep.
But it would be even better if teams like Notre Dame, USC, and those teams are in Texas, Miami, and Florida State. It hurts me to see Florida State not good anymore.
Well, that's what we used to love because when we think about it, when we in high school, middle school, maybe high school, right? We're watching Texas is a dog, right? Miami's a dog. Florida State. We talking USC, right? We talking Ohio State. Them was still good. Michigan was handling business. Like we're really seeing all these teams that are really, really, really good. You know what I'm saying? And then for years, I mean, we hadn't seen some of those teams in the, in the top echelon in I don't know how long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just been getting dominated.
Yeah.
And by the SEC, go SEC. You know what I'm saying? But this is what it is, man.
I mean, a lot of times I think they're getting, like the coaches are getting paid so much money now too. And so sometimes I equate, like for me, like on a high school level, when you have a coach that's coaching a high school, and so I go to a high school football game, and you see they have the talent and they have the potential, but the coach and the coaching staff, first off, are not putting them in the best position to be successful because the coach is only there for retirement and a 401k,
Bro.
and that's not right. Not right at all.
Right.
I'm not saying all high school coaches not like that, but some of them
You
are.
can tell.
Now you can tell.
You can tell.
You can tell the ones that are like that. And same way in college football, they're getting paid so much money, and so they're capitalizing on these opportunities. And if you don't have a coach who's really about the kids and about improving their skill level on and off the field, okay, fire me, but I have a $12 million severance package that you got to pay me.
You got to pay me. And
you have to pay me.
You didn't finish my life.
You didn't finish my life. And so most coaches, they're getting paid so much money, and it takes a special coach to really stick it out because, a lot of them, they sign these contracts. They're not looking at, okay, we're going to win a championship. The majority of them is looking at, well, if you fire me, I get paid this amount.
So is what you're saying the difference between
that's
the
Will Muschamp model?
Absolutely. No. I'm a defend Will. I think
at South Carolina.
Yeah, I think. Listen. Muschamp, he does bring attention. I think he does want to win, but at a place like South Carolina, it is kind of hard. Like Steve Spurrier had some success there.
Yeah, but
he did, but it was still like
they weren't getting the players.
They weren't getting the players. Like you have a Clowney, you have a Alshon Jeffries, you have an elite player, but they don't have.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't even get that, Will. Will wasn't even getting an elite recruit.
Yeah, Debo Samuels, J.C. Horn, the defensive tackle, Kennard. He had players. He had players. Like, don't get it twisted, because he also going to get guys from the Georgia area.
Right. He probably got to because
the way it is. So
I forgot you got a soft spot in your heart for him.
I know.
I know.
He gave me opportunity, but they.
So I got a question for you. Is that the difference between Nick and other players? Besides, we know Nick is great, but Nick is Nick the highest paid college coach?
Yes.
He's the highest paid college coach, right?
Every time it's a stipulation in his contract.
But I never see Nick. I never see Nick. This is y'all can tell me what. I'm not even there or whatever. You had some close, but I never seen Nick not be the person that still didn't put the players first. They still didn't instill, the top qualities in the players.
That's why he's the best. That's why he's the best. That's different
because normally you get paid like that. You talking about them other coaches that be like, I'm cool long as I got this package. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Nick keep getting higher.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Salaries and still
putting people in the league.
Hey, bro,
like a turnstile.
Hey, bro,
he putting people in the league.
That's probably why he always able to adjust.
Man, Nick gonna go down as the best coach ever in any sport.
He is. He already is. He is the living best college football coach ever. Do this.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think for him, the reason he is successful is because Nick Saban literally got it out the mud.
Yeah.
I mean, back then when them guys was coming up, it was a grind. I mean, they didn't get paid anything.
Yo, check it, man. Man, people be forgetting. Nick Saban from West Virginia, bro.
Exactly.
Like in the mining towns, dog.
You're right. You're right, bro.
Like, Nick got it. Like he ain't come out of your hood, but he came out of a hood.
That's true. So
he understands.
He understands, and so I think a lot of times that's why he does that, because he has that mentality of like, I can lose this at any moment. So just like, your elite athletes, we talking about the LeBrons and the KDs, like these guys getting paid so much money. Like LeBron brought in $150 million last year. What keeps you going? What keeps you motivated?
Right.
And so Tom Brady, he always talks about this. He said, what keeps you going? Like, Tom, you got 7 rings, bro. Right. Like, you want him on all 10 fingers?
Right.
Yes, he does, because he still remembers draft day getting picked in the 6th round.
It's something about that, and this will be Evergreen, definitely the Evergreen conversation, because it's something about, even when Kanisha was here last week and she was talking about her upbringing, and I wanted to say it, it's something about, a lot of times people, woe is me, or they want to get out of a situation so bad, but a lot of times these hardships, sometimes you need to embrace them, because that's the grit that builds you to be the person that you're supposed to be. We're talking about Nick just now. I was about to talk about Dion a couple minutes ago, because Dion always talk about the hood he came from, how he wasn't supposed to make. You know who else talks like that? A lot of them have their story, but AB, Antonio Brown, I hear him talk on some of his documentaries about that. Tom Brady, he remembers how y'all didn't. I wasn't supposed to be playing. You know what I'm saying? He remembers his Michigan days, right? And so those moments for these players that young players y'all are dealing with, embrace sometimes those hardships. I know you don't want to be there, but embrace them and be thankful in them, because that's the grit that's going to keep you wanting to go when you do make millions. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Brian says it too. Brian said, man, he always said, like, what he said, a young kid from Akron, Ohio. Mm-hmm. Right. And they tell some of the stories about how he was with the dope boys and how some of his homeboys, whatever, and how some people protect him in the hood or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's that thing that you never can look at Nick Saban and be like, oh, he's so great, da-da-da. Nick didn't get it off of, having
You can't say he didn't earn it.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And earning it, I think is what makes you go past your earnings. You get what I'm saying? Like, it makes you not look past it because you still want to, you would write that check. You know what I'm saying? Get that check right. But it makes me keep going regardless.
He had an interview a few years ago, like 3 years ago, him and Marcus Spears. Mm-hmm. And Marcus Spears asked him this question. He was like, Nick, everybody always asks, what keeps you going? Like, you had all the success. You won national championships. You coached All-Americans. You had so many draft picks. He said, man, do you ever get tired?
Right.
And Nick looked at him. What? Tired of winning? And he was dead.
Cue the Snoop Dogg music.
Yeah, that was the one. Like, so I mean, that's what motivates and drives him. They were saying after 1 year, after they won the national championship game, this man after the game called every recruit that was getting ready to sign for signing day.
Sheesh.
After the game, called every recruit, talked to him. The next day, he watched film on every recruit. He said he's so see, that's what I like.
Yeah.
If a CEO of a company, that's what he is.
Yep.
He's a CEO of a company. If the CEO of a company is invested like that,
take ownership, man.
You're gonna be successful.
Yeah, man.
He watches every
I love it.
recruit's film. They say he may go back to like that sophomore year and watch every game.
I love it
because it's an investment. I have
it.
to make sure that you're gonna buy in what we trying to do.
I love it.
Another thing about it, they think, okay, well, he just coaches these guys to get to the NFL. He said the first thing they do, I think we talked about this in one of the episodes, when he sit down with each player, he don't critique them on the season or what they need to get better. Mm-hmm. He's like, he asks them, how are you as a person? Like, is there anything that you want to do outside of football? He says that's the first question we ask them. Wow. And people always think we so football oriented. Right. He said, but if you can't go to class at 7:30 in the morning, you can't be here.
Wow.
If you can't be at the tutoring session on time, you can't play for me.
Right.
And that's what he said. He said they win their games when a kid shows up at class at 7:30. That's where they win their games. He said we don't win no games on the practice field.
Jeez.
We don't win no games in the weight room.
It's the person.
It's the person, bro. And that's why he gonna keep winning. LSU fans, I hate to say it.
Hey, and the NIL gonna just amplify it.
It's gonna amplify it. You know what I'm saying? And I think a team like LSU strictly just off of talent. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about them Tigers now.
Come on.
Hey, LSU got some talent this year,
yeah.
And they have an elite coaching staff.
Yes.
See, Dante Jones, the new young DC.
Yes.
He got some cooking over there.
Yes, sir.
But I can't tell you.
All right, so
I'm looking forward to it. Boy.
So we
I
have
need it.
We had some fun talking about some great coaches. Let's have a little fun. I'm looking at this article from 24/7 Sports.
Okay.
It's talking about dead money. The concept of dead money is basically that the college is basically paying coaches that are no longer coaching at their school.
Oh man!
So this is the top 10.
You ain't getting no life out of it.
So this is the top 10. All right. Starting back, University number 10, University of Colorado, still paying a coach from 2005, Gary Barnett. Till this day, still paying a coach, and total they're paying 6 coaches, 6 full-time coaches. To this day, they still paying 6 full-time coaches.
Wait, Colorado?
Yes.
This is why. That's why.
Yeah.
Total severance $16,778,733.
Yeah, see,
So it's still going to check every month.
So
amongst all spread out against all the coaches.
How many ADs have gotten fired?
Exactly.
Because
this is just what
any ADs that are still there.
We're talking just about the coaches. I'm sure some ADs
they better have
got sacked too. But
they better have.
Okay, so next on the list, Texas A&M. Still paying the coach, Dennis Francione, from 2007. A name you remember.
Yes, bro.
$17 million. Louisville. Whew. Good God. Bob Petrino still getting paid. Since 2005.
Oh, my God.
Bob Petrino, first time, because Bob Petrino came back again.
That boy getting double checks from them boys.
He did.
$18 million.
Okay.
you got. Let's see, Texas, $19 million. Still paying Mac Brown, and Mac Brown coaching at North Carolina now.
Wait. I thought the coaches had a clause in that though. Like,
this is their buyout.
Cause no, I know, but I thought like, for instance, with Coach Miles, when he was no longer LSU still had to pay him their money.
Yeah.
As long as he was actively seeking another job. So you remember that time his name was like, well, he may get hired here, he may get hired there. Mm-hmm. He really wasn't going to get hired, but it's almost like LSU had to know that he was seeking another job. So my question is, when he gets
hired.
It's
like unemployment.
Yeah, when you get hired with another school, they still responsible to pay you that money?
It depends on your contract.
Depends on, that's why you got them agents.
So Mac Brown still getting paid.
Mac Brown still.
Bobby Bonilla.
If you don't, okay, so if you don't know, Bobby Bonilla.
Who was his agent?
Used to play for the New York Mets. He is since been retired, and there's a ongoing tradition on July 1st every year. It's called Bobby Bonilla Day. The New York Mets are scheduled to pay him $1 million each year for the next, I believe, 35 years.
Yep.
So he's
and he's 58 right now.
Is he his? Okay.
He gonna pay. Damn, they're gonna pay him till he about to kick the bucket.
Basically.
Yep. But who? I want to know who his agent.
It wasn't his agent doing that. It was something that happened with
Dennis Gilbert was his agent.
Man.
Shout out to Dennis. Gilbert.
Right.
Shout out to Bobby, man.
Shout
out to Bobby B, man.
Shout out to Bobby.
$1 million for 35 years.
1.2. Let me see.
So let's just to finish it while you looking it up, man. Top of the list, University of Florida. Still paying. Let's see who the oldest coach they're still paying is. Jim McElwain. Still getting paid.
Jim McElwain, when was him?
$13 million. That's just for Jim McElwain. Okay. In total, $24 million.
But like the other coaches,
of all the other coaches, Will Muschamp, Jim McElwain.
Oh, okay.
Yo,
go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got it.
Dog. So they got to pay him till 2035.
2035. That's what it is. Not 35 years.
And
2035.
It explains why it says. It says Dennis Gilbert, Bonilla's, it's Bonilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bobby
Bonilla.
Agent at the time devised the deferment payment plan at an 8% interest rate.
Woo!
That compounds every year.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Oh, we got the compound.
Fred, I'm saying these names. Fred Wilpon made the deal.
Yeah, Wilpon used to own the Mets. He used to be the owner of the Mets.
All right. He's figuring that he'd fund the dividends from a hedge fund he invested in run by Bernie Madoff.
And we all know how that went.
A good old Ponzi scheme.
I wish we had a soundboard that had jail doors closing.
God, dog.
Yeah.
So Steve Cohen inherited the arrangement. I'm reading the whole.
And these are the people who are billionaires with MBAs and from Yale and Harvard and Brown. These how
they got a line in here talking about Gilbert talking about. I would say I'm extremely proud of the deal. I guess you are. I guess you are extremely proud of the deal. What you talking about?
You getting your 3% over that every year.
Every July 1st.
Right.
You can have a good 4th of July vacation
every time, man.
Every July.
Every time.
Yeah,
every time.
That's crazy.
Bob Bonilla, man. Shout out.
Shout out to Bob Bonilla, man.
That's how you secure the bag for real.
I want to make y'all laugh. Y'all saw Deion walk off on that reporter?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He said, don't call me Deion. Don't call me Deion. Call me Coach.
Hey, I feel him.
I feel him too.
Right.
I feel him too.
I feel him. Like, yo, you had the swag media days.
Yep.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. Right. And
even if you do know me, we in a professional setting.
So handle me like you'd handle me.
So handle me like you would handle any other coach.
Absolutely.
But the thing that made me mad though, he actually gave the reporter an opportunity to ask the question.
He said he liked him.
He
said good guy.
He said, hey, he said, y'all stop asking me questions. I don't even know the reporter's name. He said, he
Nick
asked me a question. Nick, he said, I like him. He's like, so Deion, cut him off, whatever. He was like, hey, don't address me as Deion, address me as Coach. He said, you wouldn't tell Nick Saban, hey, Nick, you'll say, hey, Coach Saban. He's like, no, I won't. I call him Nick. He said, no, you won't.
Right.
He's like, yes, I will. He said, yes, I will. And he's like, okay, Deion.
Right.
All right.
He'll walk off.
All right, I dip. So where you think that come from?
Who?
No, Dante, chill. No. Don't let him go. Don't let him go yet.
Go, dog.
I'm about to say, where we think it come from?
I know.
All right.
Look at his shirt.
So I went.
I know. That's why I say, hey, where it come from? Because
we all know where it come from.
I want that conversation.
So I went to school at Southern Mississippi, and it says this reporter is from the Clarion Ledger, which is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I've read some of the articles when I was at when I was at Southern Mississippi, and I know how they lean.
Which way they swing out here.
All right. So, yeah, that's exactly where it comes from. You're not going to tell me how to do my job, boy.
And it's on purpose.
It's on purpose. This is absolutely on purpose.
You're not getting the interview. That's what I'm talking about.
It's absolutely on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So I don't blame him one bit.
Y'all saw the video he did after with his team?
Yeah.
Talking about, Dion, where you going? And then the walking out music came
right.
I love it, bro. They ain't doing nothing but boosting him, bro. They ain't giving them more publicity. I love it, dog.
Right. It could have been very benign.
Yep. Right.
Like he could have just said, "Sorry, my bad, Coach Sanders."
Which is no problem to do that.
My bad, Coach Dion, Coach Sanders, whatever you want, however you want to address it, right?
Right.
And you just come back with your question, and nobody says nothing about it.
Right.
But you want to try to pull. You're gonna try to pull primetime card.
You're gonna be that prime time of all.
And
people.
you think he ain't gonna respond?
Of all people,
right?
He must not have known.
Like, yo, this man that lined up against Jerry Rice. This man that lined up against T.O. This man that lined up against Randy Moss. And you think you holding a recorder gonna scare me?
Dion been talking since he been talking.
Right.
The first time we heard Deion Sanders, he was talking noise.
Right.
Any man that say what he say? He said the earth covers
The
3/4 of the earth.
He said water. He said water covers 2/3 of the earth. I cover the rest.
Anytime somebody say like that, you're not about to check him, bro.
No, but again, the reporter at the same time, what he got everybody doing, talking about it.
Yep, yeah. I love it.
So
I love it.
But see the way art. But
I don't think he wanted people talking about it. I really think that was just embedded in him. Like no, Dion.
Look, let's check it, yo.
Let's
check it, yo. You had SWAC media days.
Right. HBC, yeah. Right.
Check yourself, fool.
That is true.
You had SWAC media days.
You know.
So what other coach you think you about to get an interview with, man?
Right. This is true.
Because your paper sent you up there to go write stories.
Right.
What you gonna come back with a story about yourself and Dion?
Right.
Then he disrespected the most popular coach in the
conference because Odom's out.
I guarantee that this is the only popular article he was gonna get.
Yeah,
he's not gonna get it.
No diss on nobody else.
Right.
But this is the only article that you get that made an interview with Dion would put you on more than putting him on. Because Dion is Hall of Fame.
Dion is Dion, bro. He's prime time. He's
like it's Dion, and now you getting pulled for the wrong side of the coin.
That's pride. That's ego.
That's pride, ego, race, all that stuff, man. You know what that is. You know what it is. So I want to talk about this before we go, man, and we'll see. Man, I hope we start doing better. Richard Sherman, man. What y'all think about the whole Richard Sherman thing?
Oof. Yeah, I don't know enough to even. I don't know.
Well, I knew that when I first heard about it, talking about somebody called 911. Mm-hmm. His wife called 911. No. I first heard about it, and they put out the article. I put out the whatever saying that he got arrested for domestic violence. Did y'all see that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They said he got arrested for domestic violence, and he had no bail. Well, that makes it look like he didn't beat somebody up. In his house, he didn't beat a child or beat a wife or something like that. Which I hate how they put that stuff out there like that, but it's the media how they do it. Right. Mm-hmm. But then the next thing you hear, they're talking about the 911 call and talking about, he was at it. They showed the video. I don't know if did y'all see the video too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of him at the door trying to get into the door or whatever.
Right.
What y'all think, man? I just, I had thoughts about it at first, but then
Number one, how do people get their hands on a Ring camera that's at your house?
Yeah.
Anyway, but go ahead.
It's all money, bro.
Yeah.
Number one, I hope he's getting the help he
absolutely
first and foremost, and I pray for his wife, kids,
absolutely
everybody in a situation that truly does care about him.
Right.
I don't know him personally, but I do know that I care about people, so
right.
I hope he's doing well.
Truth.
What I hope is that, look, if we look at Legion of Boom as a whole, right? everybody that played on that defense.
I remember.
The cornerback that played opposite of Richard Sherman, right, Brandon Browner, is right now serving a bid for murder or attempted murder. I'm sorry, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want.
Nah, but just we can look it all up. But I get what you're saying.
So he's serving a bid right now, right? You got Earl Thomas, who had that big dust up during the pandemic with his wife and some love triangle and went wrong and yeah, you know, like at some point you got to start thinking like the way these dudes were running around banging on people, like banging them, right? They called them Legion of Boom for nothing, right? They were going around banging on people, like that has effects on you. You know what I'm saying? It has effects on you. And if I'm looking at one roster, one side of the ball, one defense, and 6, 7 of the 11 people that was on the field having a lot of trouble away from the field now that they either they didn't stop playing ball. Like you got to start questioning, man. Everything cool between the ears. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate, but. I mean, I can only look at what's in front of me. The facts is what's in front of me.
The facts, bro. And
like,
Seattle seems to be a pretty clean organization, which you know what I'm saying. So it's not
ain't no organization.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. Then.
Ain't no such thing as look.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
It's only I am a big believer that there's only so much money that you can make before you have to really do some dirty stuff to somebody, either voluntarily or involuntarily. Right. You got to do some dirty stuff to some people. There's only so much money you can make without doing that.
Right. True.
Right.
True. What'd you say, Doug? What you think?
I mean, I believe, Dante, you said something at the end of your statement. You said they had these issues when they stopped playing ball. And I understand they use the term mental health. They use the term, depression and CT and all these things. But now for me, like my perspective is shifting a little bit now, because whenever you stop something and you've been doing something your whole life and your whole being and everything that you are, the blood, sweat, and tears, everything is wrapped up in that particular thing. And when it's over with and it's done, you have no more identity. But you think you don't have identity. Right. You think you don't have any substance. You think you don't have anything for society or can do anything for society. So for a lot of these guys, a lot of these football players, and Richard Sherman, I believe is going through that now. The mental health part comes in when you realize you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are, and you don't know whose you are. Right. And so that issue, and I believe that the NFL and everybody else, even these colleges, have to start taking this a lot more serious. Stop labeling mental health and stop blaming it on CTE. Because I really believe if a grown man knew who he was and had a plan for when this ends, because it's going to end. It's going to end in high school. It's going to end in college, and it's going to definitely end professionally because you can't play forever. True. If they had a plan for it when it's over with, then guess what? I believe that you wouldn't see these issues, because now they feel like, as a man, you always want to feel like you're making an impact. Like we sitting in this room right now, you always want to feel like you're making an impact, and I believe that. A shift has to take place, because we've become so goal oriented. Athletes, like I feel you want to be. You write your goals down before the season: first team All State, first team All American, under All American, 5-star recruit, and I want to get a full scholarship. On that list is nothing to do with anybody else besides you. Now you can accomplish those goals. Right. You can do those things. Right. But you can't take them with you. There's nothing you can do with that. You can't take them with you. You can't carry a first team All State with you. That's real. You can't. You're not impacting that. That's not an impact. Right. And you become people driven. So you always gonna have people with you. Right. people gonna be forever. You know what I mean? And you can always have an opportunity to impact somebody else, say something may change their life. And whether these guys own a business when they get done playing, you're gonna be dealing with people.
Right. So
when you become people oriented and realize that are you willing to sacrifice? And it starts at a young age. Are you willing to sacrifice your well being and sacrifice your agenda to make sure somebody else is successful? I was talking to a group today at Catholic High School, their football team. I said the perspective has to change because you're in the weight room. Dante, look at that. You're in the weight room. But Coach Lee gonna get on me when he see that too. Yeah, because I'll be all in the 588 district everywhere. I mean, I'm everywhere. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that stuff.
Make better people.
Make better people.
You need your voice over there.
So if you in a weight room, what we think about? I'm in a weight room, about to get swole. I'm about to get stronger. But now it's a funny thing. If you realize that the only reason you're doing power clean is to make sure the man next to you, make sure you're good enough that the man next to you succeeds.
Right.
And the funny thing about it is when you put him first, you end up getting stronger.
Right.
When you're in the field running sprints and you're not doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for the man next to you,
right.
a funny thing happens. You end up getting faster.
Right.
That's with anything in life.
Right.
If you don't focus so much on yourself, opportunities and things come. So I understand the CTE, and I'm not diminishing it at all. Mm-hmm. But I'm prone to believe that if they had an identity and knew who they really were, they wouldn't be struggling like this. Because it all starts with a thought.
I feel you.
Like, I'm not good enough.
I feel you.
What I'm gonna do after this.
I feel you.
And that's where it comes from.
I think too. I think that is a mixture in that mind, as the statement says, as he thinks, so is he. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a mixture of all those things. I think the anatomy and the physical, the pressures that put on the brain, actual brain of hitting and leading the boom, like you said. Mm-hmm. But I think these thoughts, all that begins to mix. And there's so many nuances that I can't really get on it right now. But I think what's going to happen, we're talking about make better people. I think the way that you guys are talking to younger athletes, I think NIL is going to change a lot of that. I think a lot of people are playing longer than they should or want to play because they maybe have to.
See.
And I also think that opportunities afterwards are starting now in the high school.
And I get what you're saying though. Like I get what you're saying about, you should know who you are, but the way I was basically brought up, way from most males are brought up.
Right.
You're taught to compartmentalize.
Absolutely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But what we're talking about when we have in like CTE, your boxes are basically leaking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get that.
So there's no box. Mm-hmm. Like they're all bleeding into each other.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know where one ends and the other one begins.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that it's not that they can't. They just lose the ability to.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, that's
it's like having a quad injury, right? You're gonna start compensating it for it somewhere else, and it's the same thing with your brain. Like there's no ice you put on your brain.
Right.
I don't care. NFL is a $1 billion corporation. Do something about it.
Figure it out.
No. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I understand
You're absolutely right.
Compartmentalize and all that stuff and the box leaking and all that. No, y'all a $1 billion corporation.
No.
So don't all these little symposiums and workshops that you masking.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Do something about it.
I got it.
You're absolutely right.
Right.
Yeah, you calling out the right people. Like that's what I'm saying. Call out the right people. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't call out.
That's not on the employee.
Right.
That's on the owner.
Right. I think I would hope in this situation there are things that look like everything in this. Plus there was alcohol involved. Mm-hmm. And we've all been in relationships where things can get heated. The emotions are high. We don't know what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So I would hope, and I'm prayers out to him and his family. I would hope that it's just, bro, you had a bad day and you and your wife got in it. You famous, so they caught you on that. You drank a little bit too much and you went overboard.
Yep.
Right?
Hope so.
But I hope
at the least. At the
least, but I do think he needs to look into some of those things as well. I do think that, and I don't know. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but I do think I may be wrong, but I do think the league may be making some concessions for head injuries and all those things by the way they're calling stuff. It's not enough. Or can you do it? All right, so I got a question.
No.
This gonna make
you
this
cannot
gonna
play
make
this game.
This is gonna make me. We're past, but let's keep going.
Go
We're
ahead.
good. We're good.
Yeah, we good.
Can it be done, Doug? Can it be done, Dante? Or is it
I'll let the football player tell you. Say it first.
Can it be done?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Protected for CTE, head injury, all that stuff.
Because what's happening is with technology and the training, and Dante, he trained track athletes.
Mm-hmm.
The technology and the way these kids are growing.
Bro.
And so now, back in the day, right, my uncle who played at Southern was an All-American officer guard. He weighed 225 pounds.
Sheesh.
I mean, 225 is a free safety.
It's a running back.
It was a running back that can run.
It's a running back now.
That can run a 4.4.
Right.
Okay, so you have offensive tackles that's 310 running 4.7s and 4.8s.
And I
So
can't
you
imagine
can't
getting hit by that.
you can't control it because what's going to happen. Something's got to give. So I'm not going to hit you in the head. But now you have a 6'2", 220-pound safety coming out here aiming for your knees.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not good either.
Possibly ending your career.
Because now
that's a career ender.
You think about it possibly. I might never walk again either.
Right.
And so you really can't. Can you reduce it? Yeah, you can reduce it. But to say just to get rid of it and
You ain't
really
gonna do it.
it's not going to happen.
It's not built for that. You have to play flag football.
Okay, so because everybody, the stuff that the regular person sees, they see like the free safety hitting a wide receiver across the middle. They'll see like Doug said, the linebacker meeting the running back in the hole.
Right.
The ones that they don't see
is
them big boys in the middle.
That's every play.
That's every play.
They don't get no
They
plays
can't.
off.
There's no avoiding it.
No plays off.
There's no avoiding it.
Now, only thing with those guys, maybe in an instance, they're so close together. They're not as deep as far as like a linebacker can be in the hole.
But so I'm looking at they akin it to two small cars crashing
Every play.
Because of the amount, it's not about how far they are. It's about how much they weigh, right?
Right.
Like you said, you talking about a 6'5", 325-pound lineman,
Right.
going against 6'7", 260-pound DN.
Right.
Like and when they meet.
That's true.
Like and while you're saying that, if we talking about pass pro, like pass protection, and we talking about pass protection, we talking about a left tackle taking a kick step. By the time that DN come around the corner and trying to turn the corner on him, that's about the same amount of space that you have between a linebacker and a running back,
bro.
Boy, my mic just
your mic just ran a 4-4.
That boy started talking about the car crash, and that mic say "bam."
Thought we had something new on the soundboard.
Oh, bro. So I got a question. Should they? Well, they'll never do this because it's money. But shorten careers. Tell people they only play for so long.
Put a cap on it.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Willis shortened his own career.
Yeah.
I do think it comes to that where you got to be him and another linebacker dude. Mm-hmm. I do think it comes to that point where you got to kind of take into your own, assessment. When nobody else is going to do it for you, you got to do it for yourself. I believe. But
I think they are getting smarter. A lot of guys are retiring quicker, like 7-8 years, and they're getting out of there.
Right.
The other guy you talking about for the 49ers, when he got that first concussion, I'm out.
It's gone.
And he was a dog.
Bro.
Yeah.
So I'm done. I'm straight. But that goes the reason he did that, and the reason
he got something going on.
He knew who he really was.
He got some, and I get it. He got something going on.
Yeah, Luke Kuechly kind of retired a little early.
Yeah, he did. I'm out of here.
Yeah, this is good. This is very, very good because I think that I say this every week, bro. So I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I'm going to say it every week, and I'm going to say it all the time. That what you two are doing is very, very important for these young athletes, identity-wise, because you may be great at this. You may be awesome at this. This may be something that actually gets you, financially stable. This may be something that actually gets your family somewhere that has never been before, and that's okay. But once you get there, just know, ain't no ball is life.
Right.
Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? And it's the thing that they tell us, ball is life, but it's not. Because at the end of the day, and especially all professional sports, you got till you about 35. If you're doing good. If you on some extra, you know what I'm saying, LeBron type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so knowing that there's other things and other ways to do, now I can have an option. You know what? I don't have to play another 2 years. I don't have to play another 5 years. No, I can think about something else. I've been thinking about it the whole time while I've been here. And this is another reason why I like the NIL. Because now it's going to set up a lot of those players for things other than the sport. You know what I'm saying? Make better people.
Yep.
Right? It's been dope, guys. Episode 7, Evergreen Podcast. And make sure y'all follow, like, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. We got a Twitter, right? I think we got a Twitter, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. It's going to be all in the comment section, all that good stuff in the description, so you're ready to follow us in all those places.
Speaking of followers, shout out Bernard James Jackson. Just give us a follow.
Bro, let's go, man. These followers coming up. Shout out.
Bernard.
And so, y'all follow us. Y'all share this with somebody, and we're going to keep it popping. We got some special guests coming up in a few weeks, but we can't tell y'all who they are. And so, but
stay tuned.
But just know it's about to be real fun up in here. So, all right, Evergreen Podcast, we out.